Welcome to the World's Finest Podcast. I'm Bohdi. That's Noah.
Today, we're going to be talking Ironheart,
Yeah.
Superman, a little bit of Spiderman, but first, we've got some news.
Yeah.
So, take it away, bro.
Big week for comic book media. Biggest thing that dropped, new Fantastic Four trailer. And if you guys have been watching since first episode, you'll know that I have some mixed feelings about the movie itself, but the trailer looked great. I will give you that. Trailer looked pretty good. What'd you think of it?
Despite being a Fantastic Four movie glazer, did not watch the trailer. So
Really? Okay. Fair enough. I think...
you know how I am with trailers, man.
Yeah.
Trailers spoil too much for me, man.
Fair. I think
I have seen clips, though, of different Johnny trying to edge. Wait, Johnny trying to bait.
Clobbering time out, bro.
Trying to bait thing into saying it's clobbering time.
Mm-hmm.
Those clips are hilarious.
And the thing's beard.
I'm so glad they didn't put it in the trailers. Bro, that was so tough.
It's so weird. Like, it just came out of nowhere.
At first, I was like, wait, what happened to his chin?
Yeah. I thought it was a CGI bug at first, too. And then I went straight onto the Marvel Reddit. I thought it was a CGI bug. And then everyone's like, the thing's beard looks so great. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But
yeah. Bro, when he says it's clobbering time, I'm standing up in my chair in the theater, bro.
Yeah, I'm clapping.
Bigger than Chicken Jockey.
Dude, that's going to be... I genuinely think...
This is the nerds version of Chicken Jockey, man.
I think that it's clobbering time theater reaction, like the number one theater reaction, is going to be way bigger than the number one Chicken Jockey. Because, like, it's just so... There's so much more depending on it, I feel like. Because we haven't been shown it. We knew it was going to happen. The Chicken Jockey. We knew that was going to happen. But I think that it's clobbering time is going to be a bigger meme when it drops first.
Chicken Jockey is an event, bro.
Chicken Jockey wasn't a event. That is true.
I think within the nerd community, its clobbering time will be very big.
Yeah, that's fair.
Chicken Jockey was not an opening night. This will be.
I think Chicken Jockey, my theater didn't even do anything. Because I saw it it was like a 6 o'clock showing the day before. Yeah, and it wasn't a full bunch of kids. It was.
Well, I saw it pretty late, and my theater worker had a full speech before the movie.
Nice. I wanted to see it.
And it was mainly families in my theater
anyway. Okay. Yeah, my theater was mainly
there was one group. There was one group of kids, one group of maybe 13-year-olds or whatever, who went I am Steve, and he went up and talked to them.
Nice.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
My theater.
At least I could hear the movie. I've got friends who couldn't even hear the movie at all.
My friend sent me a video of his, and I'm not even kidding. The entire theater erupted, seat by seat simultaneously. The theater just went up in flames. It was crazy, but yeah, it'll be big. Clobbering time will be big for sure.
I do not think that was the biggest news of the week, though. Come on, man.
No, I think there's a few big. I think as a whole that's the biggest, but there's a lot this week. Second, I'm gonna go just off my list here, but probably the biggest, or if not second biggest, is at the bottom. Ironheart premiered this week, Tuesday, 3.1 on Letterboxd, or 3.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which is, I believe, the lowest rating.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's the lowest rated project in the MCU so far.
I did not know that.
Deserving of the rating, but very low rating. New Superman clips came out this week. I know you probably weren't watching them, but some TV spots.
I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple seconds and stuff. Try to avoid it, but I have heard of the Lex rage bait.
Yeah, there was the Lex rage bait.
To see it on the big screen.
Yeah, there was the international trailer. Do you want me to say what is happening in these clips, or do you want me to just leave that spoiler free?
No, I'll save it. I'll save it for the movie, bro. I'm going in blind, bro.
Okay,
as blind as I can.
That's fair. But yeah, new Superman clips, international trailer. That's about as far as I'll go. John Bernthal got cast as Punisher in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Peak. I'm very excited for that.
We won, bro.
That's the segue to Daredevil. That's the segue, and I know that Punisher and Spider-Man isn't the most popular team up, but it's gonna definitely lead for Daredevil to enter into that that movie, I guess.
After we're done with the news, I've got a pitch for the movie.
Okay, that's fair.
Real
Um,
quick.
Thunderbolt's director has been not confirmed, but it has been rumored that he will be the director for the next
No,
X-Men movie.
he's
Nah, he
officially
hasn't.
set.
It was let
You
me pull
sure?
up his words. Yeah, let me pull up his words. Hold on. I should have wrote it down.
My bad, my bad.
Nah,
I may have been misinformed.
his words were, and I quote, um dang bro, I had the article pulled up and then it just disappeared. He said something along the lines of, I can't find the quote now, but he said something along the lines of, I can neither confirm nor deny if I am in the movie. But that is director. That could mean he could be the director or the writer of the film, which I would be happy if he was both. But
I saw something like recently, like last couple of days, that said that he's officially the director.
interesting. Yeah, because all the information I've seen, like I think it was an interview he had 4 days ago saying that he isn't sure,
Yeah,
or he
maybe.
hasn't like
Probably wrong.
come out. I don't know.
Either way, that's peak.
Either way, if it happens, that'd be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that.
Bro, if he can do something like that with the Thunderbolts, imagine what he can do with the X-Men. Like,
Peak.
so exciting.
I found the quote. He had a little. 4 days ago, it was, even if I were confirmed on that movie, I don't think I'd be allowed to answer. So that kind of hints towards him being in it. But yeah, something like that. And yeah, probably the biggest news of the week. Batman Part 2 script is finished. It is turned in. It is finished. Peak has been
I've
written.
never been so excited
Yeah.
about the script being finished.
The aura farming of the photo that he posted on Twitter, hands down, made my day. Hands down made my day.
If you squint really hard, you can see on the script that the title is The Batman Part 2.
Well, yeah, I did not know that. That's actually really interesting. But
If you look hard enough, you can tell that it says The Batman Part 2.
nice. I'm
You
glad they're
can't make
doing that.
anything else out of the script, though.
I'm glad they're doing that instead
Yeah,
of
me too.
like a Dark Knight approach. Yeah. But that's the
Right.
main news of the week, really. Besides rumors
good,
and
right.
leaks that haven't been confirmed, that's about it.
So peak.
So peak.
So Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Looking forward.
Obviously, John Bernthal is confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk is rumored.
Yeah.
Mr. Negative is rumored.
Yeah.
The contract or whatever is like that an MCU character or an Avengers character, whatever it is, has to be in a Spider-Man movie. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, so Iron Man is in Homecoming, Nick Fury is in Far From Home, and Doctor Strange is in No Way Home.
So Hulk.
Because Marvel has a contract with Sony
Makes
saying
sense.
that like
An MCU
there
character.
needs to be I don't know the exact quote, but like an Avengers character or an MCU character or something
Okay.
needs to be in the Spider-Man movie. And that's why and then Hulk was rumored and people would be like, yeah, that would make sense, that checks out. And now Punisher's been confirmed. I'm hoping Hulk's not in the movie and that Punisher is that character. But I'm not sure if he technically qualifies.
Yeah, I would say he was technically MCU at the show, but and with Born Again, but I feel like that's on too short notice.
I don't know how, because he might not be close enough linked to the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Makes sense.
I think his.
He is MCU because of Born Again.
Yeah, and because of Punisher.
Is so.
Punisher is like MCU, like Daredevil. It's in, but kind of.
I would class all those shows MCU.
I would too, but I don't think. I think that it's important to remember that they were Netflix and like they were two different.
Yeah,
like,
but now he's in Born Again, so it's irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that. So one, I'm hoping Hulk isn't in it now, because I just don't think he would work in the movie. Because if he's in the movie, okay, so just imagine. So there's a theory that the theme of the movie is anger. Sounds great, and that at the end of the movie, like in like the third act or whatever, Mr. Negative turns Hulk into Grey Hulk, and he's Savage Hulk again, and they have to beat him.
I don't want that.
I don't want that.
Neither would
because like that would make the fourth MCU movie to have the villain's plan be to unleash a Hulk. Loki does it in the first Avengers movie. He tries to do that. Ultron and Wanda do it in Age of Ultron. And then Brave New World with Red Hulk.
Yeah. Red Hulk was mad nerfed.
If they do it again, like that's bad. Yes.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm a defender of that
Red Hulk
film,
was
bro.
mad nerfed.
I don't think so. I'm a
Red
defender
Hulk
of
was
that
mad
film, bro.
nerfed.
But yeah, I don't think that should happen.
Shout out Josh Movies.
Shout
Red
out,
Hulk
bro.
was mad nerfed.
I don't think that should happen. I
No,
think
if he is in it, I do want it to just be a cameo.
or a
But I
hero,
still want
like a
the
side
theme
hero,
of the movie.
to be angry.
Yeah, but I still just don't really want him in it. I just don't think it'd work. I'd rather just have I would rather it be as solo Spider-Man as it can be, as New York as it can be. But my pitch for the movie is similar to the theories. The theme is anger. Mr. Negative is the villain. And, Peter has nothing left to lose now.
He has nothing at all.
He's just Spider-Man. And, because we saw some of Spider-Man not holding back at the end of No Way Home.
Such a
After
great,
May dies, and
such a great act.
he's trying to kill Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. That's actually my favorite stuff about the movie.
that
Is
that
the final
act
act,
is
and Peter's just the inner darkness in Peter is the best part of that movie. And then obviously Andrew and Toby. But if in this movie you've got Peter like kind of towing that line, and he's real angry. He starts not pulling his punches as the movie goes on. Or he's like, I don't know. There's just that kind of wrestle, which then works with the villain being Mr. Negative. And then if Punisher's in it, Punisher's like pushing this guy to go over their line. And Peter's like, so it's like Punisher and Peter. And because all the stuff with Daredevil and Punisher always trying to push Daredevil over that line. It's phenomenal. It's some of the best MCU content. And that happening with Spider-Man and Punisher would just be so electric.
Yep.
And then if you eventually later in the movie, Pete would be like, see Punisher in action. He's like, bro, I cannot beat this. And he becomes a hero. Or he goes back to being, that hero that he needs to be. A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
I reckon that could just be a phenomenal movie. That could just be phenomenal.
Yeah, there's two things I don't need. Two things I don't want. Gray Hulk, and I don't want MJ and Ned.
I don't want that.
MJ and Ned to just be resummoned back into his life. No, I understand that in the movie, but I don't want it to be
I hope it's just a little bit. I hope it's just a little bit.
I don't want it to be like
something.
You watch No Way Home, he loses everything, and then within like 20 minutes of the first movie, it's just all back. Because that would just lose so much character development. I don't want that. It'd just be a wasted piece of crap, honestly. But I feel
it's quite likely they do put them back in, but
it's possible.
Let's just hope that it's just a brief cameo or something.
And then with Punisher, that would be cool to see. I would love to see that. But we just need Daredevil added back. We need Daredevil more MCU, and we need him in this film to be with Spider-Man. We need it. It's been long overdue. We finally have opportunity to. We need them now. We need that team up.
Do you know it'd be like also so awesome if Daredevil Born Again season 2 leads directly into Spider-Man Brand New Day.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
And Daredevil in it. I don't really want that as much as the other thing. I'd rather that Daredevil Born Again stays contained.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it'd be a very good story choice to have to watch Daredevil to watch Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man, and lots of people are just going to watch Spider-Man anyway. So I feel like it needs to be more accessible. But even if it just had some references and stuff, that would be good.
Fair take.
And because obviously vigilantes are like illegal now and all that stuff. Anyway,
it's a very
so much good story potential.
It's a very fair take.
So much good story potential. And yeah, I hope Punisher. And then also there's the question about, does Punisher work in a PG-13 setting?
That's what I was about to bring up. I'm worried.
I think he can.
I think he can, but I'm a little worried how they're going to execute him because he shouldn't be holding back because of a PG-13. But I feel like there's ways.
You just censor it though. You just censor stuff.
Exactly.
And because there are ways to make stuff violent.
Off-screen kills.
Slightly off-screen, or just like, show a little less blood or whatever.
But
like it's not. You can really push the limits too. Like some movies really push it, and I don't think it's that hard.
Like the Batman.
I reckon he can work.
The Batman, I feel like that pushed PG-13 to its closest limit. I feel like if they added slightly more, maybe I don't even know, slightly more graphic with Riddler.
It can be done.
Yeah,
It can be done.
yeah. I think
I
they
think
handle that
Punisher
well.
can work, especially I think I'm pronouncing it right, or I hope I get his name right. It's Daniel Cretton is directing it, director of Shang-Chi.
You can throw hands, bro.
Phenomenal. The choreography is going to be on point.
That's not.
So Spider-Man's hand-to-hand choreography, but then also that transfers over to Punisher's gun choreography and all that stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not worried about the action being bad. I'm just worried about them pulling Punisher's punches, if that makes sense. Like I know it's gonna be visually
fair.
appealing, but
I think also if they do, that's okay because it's a Spider-Man movie, and there's still there's still Born Again and all that stuff. Where if you want to see the violent Punisher stuff, you can go watch that.
yeah.
I'm not overly fussed about it.
I also do think the delay, because they delayed it to like what? Isn't it like 2027 now? Like summer 2027 in between Doomsday and Secret Wars? I'm pretty sure they did that.
Nah, it's before Doomsday, isn't it?
I don't know because
Yeah,
I
you're
knew
right. I thought it was mid 2026.
let me see.
I'm pretty sure it's June or July 2026.
Yeah, okay, it's July 20. I got yeah, it's July 2026. Because I thought
It's before Doomsday
yeah,
comes out.
because originally it was before or it was after Doomsday and in between Secret Wars. So everyone was kind of like it's gonna be the Ant-Man 2 of this saga where it's like ending with Infinity Wars like big
If they do
collapse.
if they do delay it to 2027 to go in between, that's very bad for Beyond the Spider-Verse because then they're
It's
not going to have
competing.
two Spider-Man movies
It's
in the same
competing,
year.
yeah. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't
Then
do
they're
that.
gonna then they'll delay Beyond the Spider-Verse again, which is bad. We do not want that.
We didn't know what that because I thought
And that also applies to the Batman. If the Batman, because Batman the Brave and the Bold, the DCU Batman movie, they don't want that coming out the same year as the Batman.
and
So
I think that's gonna get
let's hope, because if the Batman gets delayed again, then that means DCU Batman gets delayed again.
yeah.
Like we don't want that.
No, I'm glad they didn't do that either because I think Spider-Man is a crucial character in Doomsday. Like we need Spider-Man to be the lead of this film, like more than we need anything else. Like I understand that Doomsday is gonna be like
If he's not in Doomsday because of Brand New Day, I think that's okay because that he'll just be in Secret Wars.
I mean, I think it's okay, but I
If
think
he's obviously he is in Doomsday, I will be pumped.
it's wasted. I think it's slightly wasted potential. But I mean, at the end of the day,
I do think so.
Brand New Day is not going to be bad. That's the one thing we know. Like we know it's not
No.
going to be a bad movie, no matter if they pull
If
Punisher's
they
punches.
handle it right,
Like even
if they handle it right, it could be the best Spider-Man movie live action.
yeah, but like even
Or
if it gets
one
handled,
of the best.
even if it gets handled, like I wouldn't say poorly, but even if it gets handled just like meh, it's still not going to be a bad movie, and it's still going to be like enjoyable, good old Spider-Man. But
It's gonna be great.
yeah, looking forward to that, man. It's going to be a great movie.
Should we move on to Ironheart?
Yeah, yeah. So
first 3 episodes are out. I'm gonna go out and say it right now. Only seen the first 2.
okay,
Not because I couldn't finish it or anything, just because I haven't had the chance. I'm gonna watch the 3rd one tonight
okay.
if I can.
So would you like me to talk about the 3rd episode?
We'll do a full. Well, next week,
Okay,
next episode, all of them will be out, so we'll do a full review then as well.
okay.
So stay tuned for that.
Okay, I can just go briefly over some notes I took if you want me to.
No, I just get into it, man.
Okay.
I don't mind. Get into it.
Like I said, 3.1. Let me see if that's changed since last time I checked. But yeah,
I was not expecting that.
I really dislike this show. I really hate it. It's a 3.7 now, so it's raised a bit. But
That's still so low.
yeah, I absolutely hate this show. It's the worst thing Marvel's ever put out. It's terrible. There's only a couple things I like. For one, Black Panther 2, like you know like the in-mask shots where it's like the black all around them. In Black Panther 2, it looked terrible because there was none of the UI in front of her and it just looked awful. But I'm glad they fixed that. That's one thing I enjoy. Like the flying scenes are a lot more enjoyable. That doesn't look bad or anything. But every single except for like 2 or like 4, except for 4 characters, this entire show is so uninteresting. I can't find myself enjoying any of the characters. Slug has got to be the worst character in the MCU. Like his
Who?
Slug, the
Who's
hacker,
that?
the hacker for the team.
Oh, valid.
He's just so annoying. Like I feel like they were intentionally writing him just to be the annoying character, but at the same time they have so much relying on his character because he's like the crucial part of the team. But it's terrible. Um, I can't except for the third episode. I couldn't get into it. It was so boring. The Natalie emotional like beats they were trying to hit, I couldn't feel it. Like I understand that it's supposed to be sad, but it just wasn't. There was nothing enjoyable about it. I There was so little build up into her dad and Natalie's death, besides like certain back scenes or backstory scenes. It just was like it was plopped on you eventually, and it was so bad. But episode 3 I enjoyed. I will leave it at that. I did enjoy that a much more than I enjoyed the other ones. Um, Cloak is a great character, or whatever is Parker, whatever you want to call him.
I think his name's Hood.
Hood. Yeah, there it is. Hood's a great character.
Yeah, it's not Cloak, bro. What the heck?
I'm not cooking, bro.
Nah, if it. No, I wasn't. I wasn't dissing you. I was saying
Uh,
it would have been better if they did. I mean, obviously, if it was actually Cloak, that'd be terrible.
yeah, that'd be bad. But I mean,
What a
that
waste
fits
of
the
the
show,
character.
bro. That fits the show. Like in all fairness, I could see them naming Cloak. But
Yeah.
Joe's a phenomenal character. Um,
I don't know any of the names, man.
Joe is Solo,
I don't care.
young Solo,
Oh, yeah, I love him.
funny
He's
character.
great.
Is
Yeah,
a-
Jojo. Nah, I like him. He's fun.
yeah, he's a good character. Like he's a believable character.
Him and the Hood guy are my two favorite characters.
Yeah, Hood.
Hood guy, I think he's acted well. I think he's probably the best acting in the show, and he's interesting.
Yeah.
Like he's the only thing I'm finding really interesting about the show.
The Mephisto plotline. I don't know if you saw it, but I think it was like a month and a half back. They leaked what Mephisto looks like.
I did not see it.
It's actually pretty good. Like it wasn't a bad design, but that is the only thing. Him and Joe are the only thing saving the show. Like if they just
Joe's
had,
great.
if they only had this random plot line where it's like Ironheart trying to develop her character because she's such a bad person and she's doing it all for like just for respect, not to actually like help people. If they just made the entire show that, this would be like a 1 out of 10 show. Like it would be terrible. But there
I
are
think
some.
something about this show is there's not a whole lot of motivation to watch it because if it was important to the future of the MCU, Marvel would be advertising it more, but they're not.
And then
So I feel like they not like it just feels like there's not really any point in existing. I guess if they're not advertising it, there's got to be a reason for that.
yeah, and then like I don't know if I want to talk about episode 3 that much because you haven't seen it yet. But like
Nah, go for it, bro. I don't
Okay.
care.
ending episode 3 practically confirms Hood's gonna die eventually in the show. Like I feel like that was kind of a given, but episode 3 basically confirms it.
Oh, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning,
oh.
guys.
Yeah, we should probably pin a comment saying spoilers.
Oops.
But yeah, spoiler warning from here on out, guys.
And guys, this is how you know. I'm just gonna say straight out, I don't hate this show.
Really,
I don't like it or anything.
you just kind of just exists.
I don't like it. It just kind of exists to me.
Okay.
I hate spoilers, as you know, like avoiding all the trailers and stuff. And that uninterested in the show that I just let you spoil
Yeah.
that for me. Like I don't even
Yeah.
care. I don't even care, bro. I mean, like, bro. At the moment, like, I'm not gonna like give my full thoughts. I'm waiting for the like end of the season.
Okay, that's fair.
But like, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't think it's good. But I don't think it sucks. Mid.
Okay.
It's definitely in the bottom half of the Marvel shows.
I mean, it's not really, like there's like 4 good Marvel shows, and then that's kind of just the rest kind of just suck, or they just
not
are really
great.
mid.
There are some. Yeah. I mean, I'll keep watching it, and I can see potential in it. I can see potential for
And
it
that's
being good.
yeah. There's some
I think it will get good.
Like, yeah, I'll dive into that in a second. But there's one thing I want to say. If it wasn't for the podcast, I wouldn't have watched this. I wouldn't have rushed to like watch these episodes on time and stuff. I just wouldn't have cared. Maybe I would have gotten around to it, like if I needed to. But yeah. But episode 3 again. Spoiler warning. One of the things I actually liked is we are getting more Hood. We're getting more character development for Hood. We're building up into the main villain, which we're halfway through the show. I have no clue why we haven't seen Mephisto yet. It's stupid. There's obviously references to him, but we should have seen him or gotten a glimpse of who he is way earlier. But it's episode 3 is, if the entire show was like this, I wouldn't have hated it. I would have just been like, it's there. It's not bad. It's kind of just mid. But the first episodes really put a damper on my day.
I think that Mephisto doesn't even show up till episode 5 because it's just a bit of a theory on the release schedule. It's got like the names of the episodes. In episode 5, can't remember what the name is, but the M.
No, that was
in
for
the
episode
title
4.
for episode 5.
Bad Magic. Yeah, that was 4.
Okay.
Because like the
so he's
ending,
in that one then.
yeah, because the ending of episode 3 was like basically I think it was his leeway into finally being shown. But yeah, I really, it kind of sucks because they had so much they could have done for this show, but instead they literally just gave us slop. Like episode 3, like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it's not a good show at all, which is really disappointing. But
I think as well as like to be honest, like the fact that I like wasn't super excited for it contributes to the fact that I don't really like if I was super excited for this show and then I saw what I saw, I probably would have been like annoyed. But I just
Sure.
like wasn't excited. So I kind of just got what I was expecting, I guess.
and again,
Like I do think that it's a little bit better than what the trailer or at least that first trailer made it look like. I don't think that was a very well put together trailer.
like
First one.
I knew off rip this was going to be one of the worst things Marvel's put out. I had no excitement for the show, but I don't know how to put this. It is worse than I thought it was going to be. Like episode 3, like I said, it was decent. I would say episode 3 is like a 5.5 out of 10. It's really mid, but it's kind of it's like there's some redeeming factors to where I enjoyed some of it for the most part, but this is like so much worse than whatever anyone, especially me, was expecting. But it's really bad. I think I've said that enough, but I hate this show a lot. But
I'm gonna if it continues the way it is, unfortunate, but I think it will get better.
mm,
I don't know if I'm gonna finish and be like that was good,
no.
that was great, but I might be like yeah, it was alright.
And then I think it's gonna
At the
be
moment, I'm like there's stuff
right.
and I'm like I don't really like that, but then there's stuff and I'm like yeah, it's alright.
And then
Shout out Joe. Joe's so funny.
Joe's the go, bro. And then wait till episode 3. There's a big spoiler in
Top
episode
10
3.
MCU character.
Real.
Yeah, don't tell me the huge.
No,
spoiler.
I'm not
Don't
gonna tell you the huge spoiler, but there's a big like thing in episode 3 that I really liked. That was my favorite part of the episode, but I'll leave it at that.
Deep dive review next
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, but those are just my thoughts for now. Hopefully it gets better. I'm hoping it does.
What you got?
Yeah, that's about what I got.
You want to talk about Superman?
Heck yeah, man.
Superman, my most anticipated movie ever. Oh, tough. I'm actually gonna buy that, by the way.
I like the.
I'm gonna buy it when I get the chance.
Look up, bro. Look up.
So excited for this movie, man. How this segment works is we're basically pre-ranking Superman.
Mm-hmm.
How good do you think it's gonna be? I've got a list here of comic book movies. I won't do all of them. It's a big list. But basically how it works is we'll start easier and it'll get harder and harder. And I'll say movie and you'll say whether it will be if Superman will be better than it or not quite as good.
Okay.
Just a bit of fun. Obviously still gonna go into the movie with an open mind.
Yeah. I think my mind's pretty closed on how peak this film's gonna be. Like my mind's set on one thing, bro.
Wait, man.
Now look at my mind's set on one thing, but
Look up, bro.
yeah. There's gonna be I think there's gonna be very few times in my life that I'm gonna be hyped for a movie, like as hyped for a movie as this. And I think the Batman Part Two is gonna be
I
the only
think
movie that can be top it.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I think the Batman Part 2 is the only other movie that's going to come close to this.
Yeah. Nothing's gonna beat this besides Batman Part Two. But
All right.
all
So
right,
to start easy,
okay.
will Superman be better than the first Thor?
Really, very interesting.
I said it would start easy.
Yeah. If anyone knows me, there's only one good Thor movie, and it's not Thor One. I'm not a fan of that movie at all.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
pretty
mid.
boring.
It's very boring.
Pretty mid.
Loki carries, but yeah, Superman's gonna be way better.
Superman will be better. Another easy one. And Justice League 2017.
That's worse than Thor. That's kind of crazy. Uh, I will say I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest hater of Justice League 2017.
Mid.
It's mid. It's worse
Not
than
even the worst DCEU movie.
it's worse than Thor, and I have both at about 2.5. It's worse than Thor,
I
but
can't tell you anything that happened in that movie.
that's what I was gonna say.
I remember the Snyder Cut, and there's stuff in the Snyder Cut where I'm like, I don't even know if that's new footage or not. Because
Yeah.
I just
There's
Justice League went in one ear and out the other.
some things I remember, and the things that I remember I liked. Like I genuinely enjoyed the
Peak CGI with the mustache. I loved it.
yeah peak. Yeah.
Superman's mustache. Peak CGI.
I enjoyed some of the action, and I enjoyed like some of the end with the big CGI battle. I hate to say that I enjoyed that, but those were like the only thing I liked. I'm not the biggest hater, but very mid.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
All right,
Superman will be better than Batman 1989. Lots of people really love this movie, man.
lots of people love this movie, and to avoid controversy, I will say I don't.
No.
I grew up with this movie. I will say that. It used to be one of my favorites.
Mm.
I grew up with this movie. But as I started reading comics and I just knew who the character was, I can't rewatch this movie and enjoy it. There's a few things I like about it, like Keaton as a character, but this movie is just I'm not a big fan, personally.
I like the vibe a lot.
The gothic.
I don't like Keaton. I don't like Burton as a director. I don't like his style. But the world, the Gothic Gotham,
Ugh,
great.
great.
I love
Quite
it.
peak. Yeah.
And the 1989 theme song is like
Legendary.
tied with Arkham City as my favorite Batman theme song.
That's fair. That's kind of
It's
crazy.
Arkham
You're just
City and it's
dissing the Batman like that. Like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of just
The
crazy.
Batman's
bro.
phenomenal. It's phenomenal, but I just love the. If I'm just talking about not as a piece of music, but just as Batman as a theme song.
Mhm.
But the Batman is definitely a better piece of better soundtrack than 1989 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
that's
Phenomenal soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Um,
Keaton. Two main things. I
Superman will be better though.
without a doubt.
Same goes with Batman Returns.
That is even worse than Batman.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Goofy.
Goofy movie.
Stepping it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut a lot out of this list. Black Panther.
I like Black Panther. I do think
I like it as well.
do think it's slightly overrated. I think it gets a little bit too overhyped, but as a whole, I really did like the movie. And as much as I did like it, Superman will clear this movie, even if Superman is like way worse than I expected it to be, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be better than Black Panther. But it's still a
I
good
think
movie.
Black Panther's pretty accurately rated because there are lots of people who really like it, and then there are people who are like, no, it's so overrated, and I think it balances it out.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Black Panther's good. I
Good
like
movie.
it.
Movie.
Iron Man 1.
Okay, we're getting into dangerous territory. Now, I am saying Superman will be better, but like I said with Black Panther, if Superman is way worse than I thought it was going to be, Superman will still be better. I do think that if Superman is like a complete flop and it's worse than I thought, I do think Iron Man has a chance to be better. But as a whole, Superman is definitely better for sure.
This is more for you than it is for the audience.
Okay.
For me, it's a no-brainer. Superman over this.
Okay.
Will Superman be better than Captain America: Brave New World?
Okay. So First of all, I like the
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
I'm I know there's probably 90% of people watching this didn't, but um
Can you give it a 9 out of 10?
I gave it 9 out of 10 initially. After pondering on it more and thinking a little bit more about it, it is a very high 8. I do still think it sneaks into my top 10 MCU, but I
All
do
right.
think subject to the rewatch, it could either go down to a 7 or to a 9, like depending on how I
I
feel.
am gonna rewatch it.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it then.
I've heard it's better on rewatch. I thought
But I
it
really do
was
like
there's
it.
some good stuff and then some not good stuff.
I do think
Red
it's
Hulk
a
was mad nerfed.
I do I bet,
Keep the
bro.
meme alive.
I do think it's a great film though. But no, I don't think so. I'm gonna stop saying if Superman's worse than I thought, it'll be better. Because I'm just gonna stop acting like it's going to be ever. Because Superman's gonna be. I'm blocking that out of my brain. Because Superman's gonna be peak. But no, Captain America is
We're
not
not
gonna
gonna
be.
get too deep into
Yeah.
is this is a very uh controversial film
Okay.
with a lot of talk about. Um Man of Steel.
I hate that movie. Absolutely
Yeah,
hate it.
Superman's gonna be better.
Yeah. I think.
Superman's gonna be better for
I.
sure.
I think. I think it's
Sorry, Sean.
not sorry, Shine, bro. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, bro. I think. Um. It suffers the same problem that Batman 89 does. Both the directors have possibilities to be good when it comes to other films, but they shouldn't be on comic book movies. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's a quote.
I think there are certain characters that Zack Snyder could do really well. I think he'd be really good as a Hulk director.
I don't think that. Like, I understand where that's coming from, but I just think he would eventually get caught up in just Hulk mad, Hulk angry, that he would lose like the humanity behind the
The
character.
third act of the third act of Man of Steel is something that should be in a Hulk movie.
You know what? That's a fair point,
So
bro. That's a fair point. But like, there's a quote, not talking about Zack Snyder, but there's a quote from Tim Burton where I obviously paraphrasing, but it's like really close to, if you've ever met me, you know I've never read a comic book. And he was like
wow,
instantly
wow.
casted as the director for 89. And like, I feel like that's the same thing for Snyder, that he's just never like picked up source
He
material.
definitely read Dark Knight Returns.
Think so?
He loves that thing, bro.
You think so? I think Dark Knight Returns Superman is a little more
Yes, bro.
based. I think it's a little more based.
No, he loves Dark Knight Returns.
He said that? Oh, okay. That's interesting because like
Bro, if you watch Batman vs Superman, it's literally the Dark Knight Returns, but
it's the Dark Knight Returns, but both characters are way worse. Because like I feel like
I've I'm yet to rewatch. There's a BVS rewatch coming this week,
really,
Ultimate Edition, which I have not seen before.
I gotta check that out. I haven't seen
And
that either.
um, buddy of mine lended me his Blu-ray. Shout out Josh Movies again.
Josh Movie Co, bro.
Um, so I'll see what I think of the movie after then. But I did rewatch Man of Steel, and overall, very mixed. But it's definitely heavily flawed, and I'll get into it another time. But there is
Yeah.
some stuff that I do really, 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 really like in that movie.
And then just touch down the Dark Knight Returns.
But
Again, I feel like
this is a debate in itself later on.
okay.
But
Okay. I'll just leave it at
you can
this.
say it.
I feel like
You can say it.
Superman and Batman, he took inspiration. Like, if he actually did read the comic, I didn't know he did that. But if he actually like did read the comic, I feel like he was like, cool character, cool story. I'm gonna make it super dark to the point where like both characters are just so much different than what they normally are, and it just got like messed up like 80%
There are
like
lines
way in the writing.
in Batman vs Superman that are literally ripped from The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
But
I guess I never really put that together, which is kind of silly of me.
and like
but-
moments and stuff as well.
Yeah, but the thing I don't, yeah, it just he kind of ruined the characters, even if he tried to take the feeling from Dark Knight Returns, which I never
Definitely a
put
heated
together.
debate for another time.
Yeah,
but I
for
do
sure.
agree with you for the most part. Will Superman? We got some James Gunn's works here.
Fire?
Will Superman be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
No. I do gotta say,
You don't think it will?
no. I went to a comic shop today, and I'm in Arizona, so there's like a lot here, but a lot of them are really like mid or like just really like downright stupid. But I went to this one in a more comic booky ish type of town, and it was the most immersed I felt shopping in my entire life. He had this like big thick wall of like Batman, and I was just attracted to that off rip. And then he had Guardians of the Galaxy 2 playing on a TV above you, so like you hear like all the peak like dialogue and the funny moments while shopping, and it felt great. I do love Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I don't think it's gonna be better.
Yeah, um I think it'll be better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the first one, but I don't think it's very rewatchable.
Okay.
It gets a little bit worse on rewatch, but it's still really, really good. Um, it'll be close with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I can see it being better, but I also love Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think it's in my top, definitely my top 10. I'd have to look at it, but I think it's like in my top 5 MCU.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love Guardians of the Galaxy 2 so much.
that's also another kind of controversial film. A lot of people either like love it or just think it exists, which is like
I
interesting.
love it.
I love it too. I
Better than the
definitely
first one.
for sure.
And the
After
first one's also peak.
yeah, after
I
rewatching
love
both,
first one's also amazing. Top 10 MCU. So good.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy's the jokes in it just didn't hit as much, but two
The
it
second
just
one,
they
the more
kept
real, the
hitting.
jokes.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a
No
the
Way Home,
closest one.
really hard one.
Ooh,
I think Superman's gonna be better than No Way
I
Home.
do think
No Way Home's great. I think Superman's gonna be
No Way
better.
Home's fantastic. It's one of my favorite, not just MCU
Say that
comic
again.
book. Okay, bro, that's the third time in a row, bro. Third episode we got that out of the way.
Hey,
Uh,
you just gotta watch what you're saying, man.
I know. Okay, my bad.
It's a natural response. I did to my teacher the other day by
Really
accident.
nice. I do
They didn't
think.
hear me, thank goodness.
I think if Superman ends up being what I'm expecting it to be, then although No Way Home is close, I think Superman takes the edge. But I do think it's definitely in the realm of possibility that No Way Home ends up being better. But it's a very small possibility.
We are not on the train, or at least I'm not, of the No Way Home is not rewatchable, No Way Home is nostalgia debate. I'm not on that train.
Neither am I.
I think No Way Home's really good.
I think No
No
Way
Way
Home's
Home's
really
really
good.
good.
And then that and Deadpool Wolverine handle a cameo better than any comic book
Do
movie
you
we've
think
seen.
Superman will be better than Deadpool Wolverine?
Yeah, I do. I think Deadpool Wolverine is it's not the best movie, but I think it's just fun. But I think Superman's gonna have the mix of extremely enjoyable while being extremely good.
I'm gonna throw out some really hard ones now, alright?
Okay. I'm spreading
Batman
what's coming,
Begins.
bro. Yeah, that's scary. That's tough, Dane. That's tough. I gotta say,
I think it can be.
I do not. I think it's possible, but I do not. I
I
think
think
it's in their own
it's
possibility.
certainly possible.
It's possible, but I don't. I don't think it's going to. I think Batman
I like the
Begins.
first half of Batman Begins more than the second half.
I think it's just it captures the essence of the character and his training better than like
Training is my favorite part
it's
of the
so
movie.
good. And then it's like it kind of feels like Batman Year One, but you get like
On steroids.
it's like Batman Year One, but you get to see the training because like the comic
So good.
starts with Jim landing in Gotham, Bruce coming back to Gotham after being gone. Like it feels like the opening to that, and then the comic kind of just expands, or the movie expands off the comic. But it's fantastic. I
And then
think it's a
obviously it's
masterpiece.
just great direction as well from Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan's go.
Thunderbolts.
Again, I don't know. That's really tough.
Such a good movie, bro.
Fabulous film. I think
Nice job for not saying the other F word.
yeah, I'm trying my best, dude. I'm swapping
It
my
was a very
vocabulary
conscious decision, I could tell.
fantastic. I think, bro, I'm saying I swapped my vocabulary from fantastic. Um, that's difficult. I knew this was coming, and that's why I didn't really want to do. That's why I didn't want to exactly do this. That's why I was kind of hesitant at first. But
You can choose to not answer.
I think I'll leave it at this. I think it's gonna be neck and neck, but I think Superman will take the lead. I think Superman will eventually, at the end of the day, be better, even if it's just slightly, because they're both like Thunderbolts is like the verge of 5 stars for me, and I think Superman has very well possibility of being 5. But yeah, it's very close.
Want me to keep going, or do you want me to end it here?
No, man, let's go. Let's keep going. Like, there's a lot more to talk about. A lot of animated ones.
I don't think Superman will be better than Into the Spider-Verse.
No, it won't. Into the Spider-Verse.
If it is, I will be so happy. If it is, I'm like,
If it is, it sneaks
if
in my top
Superman is
5.
better than Into the Spider-Verse, it's a masterpiece.
If it's better than
If it's better than Into the,
it's
better than Into Spider-Verse, it's in my top 10 movies of all time.
it's in my top
Because
5.
Into the Spider-Verse is.
Yeah. That'd be difficult.
I don't think it will be. I think that's a very special.
No,
movie.
I don't think it's going to be either. But if it is, that'd be fantastic. I mean, no, I think it'd be phenomenal if it was. It'd be phenomenal if it was.
I won't say it.
I won't say it, man. Let's leave it at that. I messed up. I slipped.
All right. Look, I got some here, but they're real hard.
Let's do it, man. Let's run through this list.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is fire. Winter Soldier is good.
It's fire.
I think it's.
Every now and then you're like, bro, is this movie kind of overrated? And then you watch it, and you're like, no, it's not.
I'm not even kidding. 2 weeks ago, my dad had. I was literally 2 weeks ago. I was thinking, I was messing with my letterbox list for MCU films, and I'm like, I just took Winter Soldier out of my top 5, and I moved it to like 7, and then I went out and I started making dinner, and my dad had it on, and it was this. It was the ending scene where I'm with you to the end of the line. And I'm like, heck no. I'm like, what am I thinking? And as soon as I did that, I grabbed my phone, I bumped it back up. I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking taking this off. But
Yeah.
very difficult. But I do think Superman will take the edge. I think it'll be, at the end of the day, better.
Civil War.
Now, I found a newfound... I love the movie. I always have. But after reading the comic, I have a newfound love towards it. Because it adapted so much better than how mid the comic
So
actually
much
was.
better than the comic.
Yeah, comic was so mid.
So much better than the comic.
But I don't know, because
I
like
think the comic's good. I think it's like a 7 out of 10.
it's like it has. It's hard for me to give it a rating because there's some moments I really like with like the Daredevil aura farming, Punisher aura farming. Like there's a lot of aura farming, Thor aura farming.
The coin
Yeah,
gives him the silver.
yeah. That
Oh
was
my
so
God.
aura. I'm not even kidding. As soon as I read that, I ran through my entire house and I told every member of my family about it. Like the second I read it, but there were some really good moments.
Respect.
But for the
That's
most
cool.
part, I did not find it that great. Especially the ending. The ending kicked me off a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but
The ending of Civil War, the movie is phenomenal.
yeah, that's like the thing because
It's great.
yeah, because like the Civil War comic, like objectively, Captain America's in the right. Like objectively, he's the one in the right, and then Iron Man's like objectively just a d-bag the entire time. So like having the movie where you see both sides, it takes it a lot farther than the comic. But I do
That's the
not.
best thing about the movie is they turned it into more of a debate.
Mhm.
Like people like, bro, people get so like, it can get political with that movie, man.
Dude, it's
I don't
crazy.
get into the politics, man, but when it comes to that movie, I can throw down.
I
I
remember.
haven't, but I've got it ready, and I've got it ready in my head for when it's needed.
I remember one time I saw. I don't remember.
Wait, are you Team Cap or Team Iron Man?
I
Oh no, don't answer that. We'll do that another episode.
okay, that's fair. But I remember seeing.
No, just tell me. Just tell me.
Tell me.
just
Okay,
tell me.
I don't have a team.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Think
It's
about it.
I don't have a team. There's I remember what platform it was on, but it was like a reposting of a tweet. Like someone took screenshots of a tweet, and it was like I think it was when the movie came out. I think Marvel made a post, and they were like, "Which side are you on, Iron Man or Captain America?" And then like I think it was some. I think it was
They're asking for war.
yeah, and then someone was like Team Iron Man, and then they went to their DMs, and someone was like they sent death threats because they were Team Iron Man. and they posted on Twitter.
Crazy.
I'm like, dude, I'm like, you know what? That's not even the craziest thing I've heard because like that I could genuinely see people doing that to each other over Civil War, but like in the comic there was just none of that. Like it just there was one objective side, but I as a movie I think it's gonna be very close, but I do think do think Superman will take a very small lead, but I do think it's very neck and neck. That's a very tough competition right there.
I think I'll like if Superman is good as I think it will be. I think I'll like Superman more. I'll have a lot more fun with Superman. Whether it will be just better,
That's fair. That's very
um,
fair.
I don't know.
That's
I
very
think it
fair.
would be pretty close. But I think I will like Superman more. Like for example, like Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love that movie so much. It's so much fun. But you know, when you it kind of sucks.
And
It's pretty
then
mid. But I love it so much.
it's
It's so much fun. I
that
don't
is
think
like
Superman's gonna be mid. Superman will be really good.
Superman will be peak. Like,
But it's a similar
it,
comparison.
but I don't think Superman will be bad. Like on a technical
No,
level,
Superman will
I
not
don't
be
think
bad.
Superman
Superman's
will be
gonna be
bad.
so good.
Um,
No. No
the
way.
thing I gotta say, since you brought up TASM, I think TASM has got to be one of the worst comic book films of all time. But there are
I thought
so
so.
many fantastic moments in that film, and so many just fantastic aspects in it that it's hard to be like, I hate TASM too. TASM one's so much better. Like obviously it is,
Sorry.
but it's like it's hard to not like the movie.
Guys, someone put a counter in the comments on how many times he says fantastic.
Bro, did I say it
I can't
again?
do it anymore.
Did I say it
I did it
again?
twice.
Did I say it again?
I can't do it anymore.
Bro, I'm
Or
sorry.
you wait. Hey, you wait till I review that movie, man. I'm letting loose.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, TASM. I don't like TASM 2 slander very much.
Neither do I. I don't understand it. I understand it on a technical level, but like I don't think someone could be like I don't think anyone could be like I didn't enjoy watching TASM 2. That just doesn't seem fair. But
This one is more for you. I know what your answer is gonna be.
okay.
I don't have an answer for this. I'm not gonna
I
answer
already know what
this.
the movie is.
Ask of the Fantastic.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's
Your
like
favorite piece of media ever.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
it means something to me, bro. It's very special.
yeah.
What do
I'm
you
not gonna
think?
answer. So,
Okay, okay, that's fair.
I love Master of the Fantastic. I think it's really, really good.
Good, good.
I'm not gonna answer that. I reckon that's crossing the line.
You think so? That's actually respect, bro. Not respect.
Avengers Endgame.
So I think as a movie, Superman will be better. But
Endgame's just got high highs.
Endgame is one of, if not the most enjoyable movie of all time. Because like there's so
It's
much
very enjoyable.
yeah, there's just so much like there that it's again, it's hard to say you dislike it, but I don't know. If we're talking solely off of favorites, it's not going to top Endgame. But like on an objective level, I do think Superman will be better.
I think Superman's gonna be better, but I also
That's
really
fair.
really like Endgame.
I do think
Um,
I think
Infinity War. I'm not gonna answer because I need to rewatch Infinity War.
okay,
Like not from a memory point of view, just from I just want to rewatch it.
that's fair.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I've seen Endgame a lot more than I've seen Infinity War.
Uh, back just
Like
one.
I don't think I've maybe seen Infinity War 3 times, probably two.
Yeah,
I maybe 3 times. Like I haven't really seen it much.
I think at this point I've seen it 2 or 3 times, but I just rewatched it like less than a year ago, so it's still like fresh.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
But back to
But a lot of people consider that the best MCU movie.
so do
So
I. I think that is the
I'm not gonna.
best. But
This I should have done before, but The Dark Knight Rises.
so difficult. Like I knew these. Okay, so plain
I think.
answer.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
I think that Dark Knight Rises. Actually, no, that's not even true. I'm not gonna say that.
What we're just like it's a mess of a movie, but it comes together well.
I was about to say it's the TASM 2 effect where it's
Mm.
messy, but it's really, really enjoyable. But then it's just like a lot less messy. But I really, really like Dark Knight
I
Rises.
feel like
I think it's fire, bro. Dark Knight Rises is fire.
yeah, it's a fire
No
movie.
slander.
And
No
then
slander,
I
bro.
don't know if you read Long Halloween. Have you read Long Halloween?
Oh yeah, bro. Can't be exposing me like that.
Okay, because I just
On the
got it.
list.
I just got it too.
It's
I just started
yeah,
reading it.
next read. It's my next read.
It's I just started reading it. It is after I don't want to say it now. After I'm done with the comic, it is going to be my new favorite. I'll just leave it at that. It's fantastic. But
What's your
like
current what's your current favorite?
no.
What's your
Man
current
Who
favorite?
Laughs. Man Who Laughs. It's really good. It like
That's your current favorite?
yeah, I think what about you? I've never asked that before.
Daredevil Born Again.
Ooh, that's fair. That is on the reading list too, bro.
It's so good.
Frank
I'm
Miller's a
actually about to
goat.
reread it.
Frank Miller's a
About to
goat.
read it for the third or fourth time.
Frank Miller's a goat.
Because I'm gonna rewatch Daredevil season 3, but I wanna reread Born Again first.
I need to get
Because season 3 is based on
I need to get Man Without Fear, the paperback from Miller. I want to get that before I read Born Again. But you can tell
That Fear was written after, I think.
it's an origin story, I think, no?
Yeah, but it was written after.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um
I might be wrong.
I don't even
I'm
know.
pretty sure it was written after. I think it was a couple years.
Yeah, they were both in the 90s. It kind of just it doesn't matter
Yeah,
too
they
much.
were.
But that like the paperback I got, it has this interview with Christopher Nolan, and like I never put it. After I read it, I just realizing how much inspiration they took from the comic, and I'm not saying that it's bad. Like the
The
inspiration,
Rises.
both, actually all three, just all three movies to begin with, the whole trilogy. But like I feel like after reading it, it makes Rises even more enjoyable because Rises has like the month jump in time or like the week jumps in time like 3 or 4 times in the movie, and that also happens in the comic. And I feel like it just makes it make more sense in my mind.
On
So
Halloween's over a year, isn't
it is. It starts
it? Take
Halloween.
place over a year.
Yeah, it actually starts in
Yeah.
June, and then it works its way. But it's really good. I really love it. But after
Yeah.
reading it, no, I don't think Superman has the chance to
Well, there are
beat it.
also moments from the Dark Knight Returns comic that are literally like
One for
from
one.
Dark Knight Rises, or
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises also took a lot of inspiration from Dark Knight
one for
Returns.
one. Yeah, yeah. Nolan did his
The
homework.
best stuff from Dark Knight Returns is in the Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Returns is very interesting. Very interesting book. But
Again, topic for another time, bro.
yeah,
There's so much stuff to talk about.
yeah, it's a lot.
I think that just about does it.
Okay.
I've got two more,
Okay.
but I think that they're very clear answers. We'll say them, but we'll say it both at once. All right. The Dark Knight. 3,
No.
2, 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
My bad.
Yeah,
We won't
no.
do 3, 2, 1. That's kind of
Okay.
cringe. And the Batman. But if Superman was better, I always want a movie to be the best it can be. And if Superman is better, phenomenal.
But
That'd be crazy. That'd be a good stamp on James Gunn's career to make a movie better than The Dark Knight.
I feel like there.
But it won't be. So.
I feel like there's a line. Like this, I feel like there's a thick line, and everything before that line and even on that line is like a possible, like better, or like it's either solidified better, or a possibility to be better. But I think past the line, there's no chance. Like it's not gonna be better than Mask of the
And I think
Fantastic Four.
these two are the only movies that are past that line for me.
I think there's 6, comic book wise.
What are they?
Dark Knight, Batman, Dark Knight Returns, Batman Begins, Into the Spider-Verse, and it's not going to be better than Infinity War. That's just the way I feel.
Oh yeah, Into Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse as well for me.
Actually, I think it. Yeah, that's what I'd have to say. I don't think it's going to be better than the 6. I hope it is. I think there's a possibility
I think
that it could be better than Infinity War, but not the 5.
I also don't think it's gonna be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't think it will.
Okay.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah, there's just like I feel like
That's my
this.
favorite MCU movie.
I feel like there's some movies where it's just off limits. Like it just shouldn't. Like I think it's just like time to respect the legacy of that
I
movie.
don't think. Look, it could be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but there's no chance that I like it more.
That's fair.
I
That's
mean,
very
there is a
fair.
chance, but it's a slim chance.
Yeah, and like
Because a few years down the track, when there's like it's Superman 2 or Superman 3 or whatever, it's got a bit more of a chance. The Guardians 3, because part of what makes it so good is because it's the finale.
yeah,
You know, it's the end game of the Guardians trilogy.
and then when terms of
Phenomenal
I
movie.
I should
So
have. You
that
almost
that
said
movie's
fantastic,
perfect to me,
bro.
bro.
You almost said fantastic. Admit it. You knew you were going
I'm allowed
to.
to say it.
Yeah, you knew you were going
I
to.
said phenomenal.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I swear I didn't.
Really? Okay.
I'll say fantastic right now. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Fantastic, bro. Um,
I'm
I
getting
should rephrase
praised.
that. Past, well, not rephrase it. Past the line, like, let's say it's the line. I think there's, I think Infinity War, and I think Infinity War is like just past the line, and I think like just like it has a slight chance to be better than Infinity War, but it's a very like 2 or 3% chance. It's very small. That's the one I'd rephrase, but it's definitely not gonna be better than the other ones.
I'm gonna rewatch Infinity War when I get the chance,
It's fair.
and I shall get back to you.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's my list done. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Uh, Nothing much really. I would like to add we haven't.
Superman's gonna be big.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it yet, but I'm not sure if you really wanted to. Clayface got a lot. I got a few things to say about that. But that I wouldn't say a full
I
episode's
don't think we
worth.
got time today.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think I got a full episode's worth, but definitely a segment. I think there's a lot to talk about that movie.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, fair enough, man.
yeah. Look up.
Um,
That's all I gotta say, man. Look up.
I rewatched the first teaser yesterday.
Okay.
So that's the only trailer for the movie I've seen, just the original teaser. I remember just sitting with YouTube open, just waiting for it to drop. And it came out, and then I watched it like 8 times on like a TV and everything. So good. That's my favorite trailer of all time.
Seeing it in theaters.
The teaser.
Just the trailer. I
I
don't.
haven't seen the trailer in theaters for some reason.
What? Like you were talking about.
Dude, when I went to Thunderbolts, both times there was a Fantastic Four trailer, but neither time there was the Superman trailer.
That's interesting. That's really odd.
I've seen no advertisement for Superman in Australia.
Bro, like that's actually crazy because every time I've seen a movie, even if it was like a PG movie, they've played Superman. And every time.
Dude, Thunderbolts was PG here.
What? How was that PG, bro? That's crazy.
Bro, I don't know.
Uh, but
I was
like,
walking in the plaza and I saw the poster. It was like an ad for it, and it said PG, and I was like, bro, that cannot be right.
that was the
And I watched the
edgiest.
movie. I'm like, bro, this is not PG. And then the second time that I went back to watch it and I was buying the tickets, it said it was PG. What?
That's the edgiest MCU movie.
So confused.
Like, not that it was like, not that it was like
Nah.
sexually edgy, but like it pushed a limit that we haven't seen in the MCU movie wise.
No way.
Or you don't think so?
What about like no Civil War and Winter Soldier?
I
Are a lot edgier. And Guardians 3 as well.
I mean, like in a
Guardians
way,
3 is really dark.
actually, yeah. Because the thing with Thunderbolts, so like the attic scene and stuff, like it was
Yeah.
really dark. I don't think edgy. Yeah, edgy's not the best word for it, but it was probably the darkest, like as a whole MCU movie we've seen. But
Yeah.
really great movie.
It was yeah, very good movie. Thunderbolts is so good.
I can't wait to
I'm
get on
so
Blu-ray.
excited for it to come to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a Blu-ray and then I'm gonna
So
send a
I'm-
photo to my friends of the code where anyone can watch it like anywhere. And I'm gonna send it to like 5 of my friends in a group chat and be like, first one who gets it wins. Because only one person can claim it, and then afterwards it's done. I'm like, first person to get it wins. But
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I love that movie.
Yeah. They've actually stopped making physical. Marvel doesn't have physical media available for purchase in Australia anymore.
You guys are getting pummeled. Man, at first it was
Guardians 3
kangaroos,
was the
now it's no
last
physical
movie.
media, bro.
Guardians 3 was the last last MCU movie that was released on physical.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Can you
they
like order them
stopped
off of
doing it.
Amazon or something overseas?
I haven't tried, but have to be from overseas. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's tragic.
cooked.
Yeah, I normally don't get Blu-ray for like MCU movies because I have Disney Plus, but like
Yeah,
I'm definitely getting Thunderbolts because I'm not waiting a month and a half to see that on Disney Plus again. Like I'm gonna get that as soon as I can.
Disney Plus gets them on there pretty quick
Well, I would imagine it.
compared to like things like Netflix and stuff.
Netflix is so bum, bro. It's so buns. It took it just Cap 4 just got on like what 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
It was like last week.
Okay, and then that was like I think that was a 3 month wait or like a 3.5. But Thunderbolts also
Yeah.
flopped big, so I'd imagine it gets on Disney Plus faster. But
Or I can't believe it flops, man. Sorry, so sad about it.
I don't understand it. I don't understand how that flops.
It was received well, and everyone knows it was good. So,
And then the thing that makes me mad is
and it's not like we needed it to do well to get a sequel because they're in Doomsday anyway. So,
yeah. And then the thing that made me mad was
like, I don't think it's really like it's sad. It's a bit disappointing, but it's not a huge deal. It's not like there's stuff riding on it.
no, it's not like Superman where I mean it's not going to flop.
No, if Superman flops, I'm
If
quitting the
Superman
podcast.
flops, then it's the end of DC. Like as a company, I think it's time for it to wrap up.
Superman won't flop.
Yeah,
No
it's not
chance.
going to. It's not going to. But if Superman
It's projected to make 100 mil in
opening weekend,
opening weekend.
that's not even that good anymore. That's kind of the sad thing. Like I think if it doesn't get like 140, it's kind of not even doing great.
Superman's making $1 billion.
Oh, it is without a doubt. And Fantastic Four is going to make bank as well. And those are like so those are the
If
sum.
Superman flops, both of them flop.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
If Superman does well, there's still a chance that Fantastic Four doesn't. But if Superman doesn't do well, there's no chance for Fantastic Four.
Well, I think the big reason it flopped is because it is a lot darker. Of Thunderbolts is a lot darker than like Cap 4, which
I think the reason was just because the general audience just doesn't care about the Thunderbolts. Like, that name just means nothing to them.
that is
the
fair.
general audience is seeing the poster and they don't know who any of the characters are.
That is fair. But I mean, like
Whereas Captain America's Captain America.
Captain America,
That movie was mid, and it's still
Fantastic Four is
better
Fantastic
than
Four.
Thunderbolts.
Superman. Those aren't going to flop. But yeah, I mean, it's that. I do think the darker approach hindered parents from taking their kids out a bit. Like obviously, like it's Captain America. You know, he's gonna be fighting Hulk.
I just don't even think that parents would just think to, just because of, again,
Yeah,
just
no one
the
knows.
unknown,
Yeah,
the unknown element.
that's true. Those are fair points. But yeah, the biggest, most important thing ever is nothing was writing on if it did well. It didn't flop
Yeah,
because
whereas-
it was woke.
Man, it's everything.
Yeah.
Everything's riding on it. I think Superman's gonna do really well.
Superman's gonna. I think it will settle.
My genuine prediction is like 900 mil.
I was gonna say mine's about 850. I think $1 billion is a possibility, but
I think it's possible. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think
Superhero movies don't make $1 billion in this day. Actually, that's not true. Deadpool Wolverine literally did last year.
yeah. But the thing with Deadpool and Wolverine is that was like freaking cameo.
The marketing was phenomenal.
Marketing was great. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be
Because
interesting.
they had the whole year. They marketed it for 6 months.
And the Super Bowl trailer was I think like that acquainted for like 300 million of it. I would say that acquainted for a big portion of.
Yeah, I think
their money.
Superman. The marketing is just so good though.
Yeah,
And
that's
even
not
just
gonna
like all just the stuff, all the behind the scenes stuff they're doing,
Mhm.
and like all just the things with the actors and stuff doing things together, like all those shorts. Like I've sent you a couple.
Mhm.
Just things like that, man. Great.
And then I think it's also
And every single poster is fire. There's one new
yeah.
poster that they made, and it's like a floating head one, and it's pretty mid.
The character posters.
Every movie has a floating head poster. Yeah, every single poster is amazing, bro.
I think
The Dolby one, the IMAX one, the teaser one, the character ones. It's all amazing.
And then the other thing I think Superman has going
So
for it
much more.
is the people that aren't even necessarily comic book fans. You have Nicholas Holt, who was just in Nosferatu. So like the normal just horror dudes are gonna start coming out to because they liked him. You have Corn Sweat, who was in Twisters, which was like the summer blockbuster, besides Deadpool and Wolverine of last year. It's like James Gunn, who made like some of the most popular comic book movies because they were most of the time funny. So that's gonna drag like the comedy fans out. I think there's just a lot of
Also,
people.
just dude, it's Superman.
Yeah, that is also true. It's just there's a
And there are
lot.
people who are like, I remember when that teaser came out, like all the comments are like 50-plus-year-old men, and they're like, I saw, and they had like they're like writing huge paragraphs. They're like, I saw the original Superman when it came out in cinema with my
Unk,
school,
bro.
and they're like, and this trailer was like the closest thing I've ever seen to that movie,
Yeah.
and like things like that, and they're like, wait, you say Unk?
Yeah, Unk, bro. Sing with your school
Respect.
in 1979, 1978, bro. You
No,
had
but
to be like,
they're like, yeah, I was 8 years old when the original Superman came out, and I'm gonna take my grandkids to see this.
that's awesome. That's great. That is
It's so
Superman.
awesome, bro. Like,
That is
and I
Superman.
think that is just a real testament to what the
Yeah.
movie is.
And that is just Superman. That's my Superman. All star.
My Superman.
Look up. He is a human. He like there's so
He feels
many.
emotions, guys.
Yeah. He's too emotional, man. He's too emotional. It's time to wrap it up. Snyder
Yeah,
perfectly
it is time to wrap
encapsulated.
it up.
Snyder perfectly encapsulated Superman. You know, perfectly. The
No,
best
well, we
adaptation.
do have to wrap it.
Yeah, it is getting late, but
I do think, but dude, the movie hasn't even come out yet, and Corin Sweat's my favorite Superman.
yeah.
He's Superman like when they're not even recording. He's not even acting, and he's Superman. He's so pure.
Did you see the clip of Corn Sweat when he was in the car and someone was recording him, and he had the soundtrack from the ending of New Hope, and he was just driving down the street, and he perfectly reenacted the Death Star blow up scene, one for one, every character. Have
I
you not
haven't
seen that?
seen the clip, but I have heard of it.
It is
I've heard
phenomenal.
it described.
It is
He's a
phenomenal.
huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
literally feels like Clark Kent is in a car and just talking. It's amazing. He's the goat.
It's gonna be so good, bro.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Big week and big upcoming summer for comic book fans. Sure.
Yeah, guys, tune in next week. We'll review Ironheart, and we'll do some
Okay.
other stuff.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day or night. God bless, and we'll see you guys next time.